If your relationship ended but you give anything for a second chance, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. So if you want to stop or reverse a separation, you have to give them a good enough reason to stay or come back. You create enough hope that the future can be better than the past, and then transfer trust and belief that things won't relapse. And you might be wondering, is it too late? She's already made up her mind, or you're stressing about how long before she moves on with someone else, or what the fuck do I need to do or say to get another chance? If you've been sacked essentially by your partner, your anxiety's probably through the roof. Fuck, I know mine was. You drink, smoke, or worse. But it's late nights, bad decisions, probably texts that you wish you didn't send. Now, if you can relate to any of this, hear me out and I'll show you that it doesn't all have to be doom and gloom. Everyone's situation is different, but some men feel like they're a special case, but nobody can help. And that's bullshit, because if you tell yourself you're a unique snowflake that can't be helped, then it gives you a reason not to do anything differently. Your relationship broke down for the same reason everyone else's does. The communication broke down, and until you fix that, you're stuck. We helped one guy who'd been separated for almost 6 years, and within a month he was going on dates with his wife again. Others whose partners had moved on with other people, we still help them reconcile with our Inception Framework. And I'll share more shortly about their situations, but I just want you to know that no matter how hopeless it might feel for you right now, I promise we've helped others in the same spot you are, but they learned how to stop doing stupid stuff that pushes it further away, and how to communicate on an emotional level. Nobody plans on their relationship failing. You think it won't happen until it does. And if you're still living together, it's awkward. Like separate rooms, making excuses to the kids that dad snores too much, that's why I'm sleeping there. Plus you're walking on eggshells. And if you're not living together, imagination goes into overdrive, thinking, is she already talking to somebody else? I get it because I've lived it. Years ago, my wife came into my office and said, this isn't working, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I feel like I've lost myself, I need space. It's pretty cliche, right? But it stung. And if I'm honest, my ego was just as hurt. I helped men fix their marriages, and here was mine falling apart. So I thought I was immune to all these kinds of problems. And looking back, I was doing what most of our clients did to end up here. Grinding hard in the business, telling myself I was being a good provider, drinking more than I should, disconnecting from the people who mattered the most, resenting my kids and my wife for even coming into my office just to spend a little bit of time with me. Everything else always seemed more important. I treated my wife like a staff member instead of a partner. Anyway, I felt this huge pressure, full-on imposter syndrome, because I thought, I have to say this, because what does it say about me if I can't? Now, luckily, I had all the tools up here. I just wasn't using them. Once I did, I saved my marriage, and my wife didn't move out, and I didn't get kicked out. And the silver lining, that whole experience helped me refine our process. The same lessons, tools, and frameworks that you've got access to today were improved by the shit show that my marriage became and how I fixed it. Now, you probably asked Chat and Google how to get her back, right? What did you get? Same recycle shit about honoring her boundaries and attachment theory. By the way, it blows my mind how many people get so hung up on this one. She's a fearful avoidant. This explains everything. No, it doesn't. She ended it because she hates how she feels when she's around you. Attachment styles are established in our early formative years, but she had no problem attaching you 5 years ago now, did she? I promise you, she's not sitting there going, oh, well, my avoidant tendencies are flaring up. She's thinking, I don't believe this guy can actually change, and I think my life's going to be better without him. And it's not your fault. If you're stuck, it's because you've been following the same advice everyone tells you to follow. Couples counseling, wrong tool. She's not there to reconcile, she's going there to get validated. You walk out feeling like the bad guy, and it sets the belief that the only time you can communicate is when a third party is there holding your hand. These alpha male brotherhood programs, be the prize again. Look after yourself, sure, but no workout or men's retreat run by health coaches is going to save your marriage. There's no anti-divorce diet. TikTok gurus, manipulative tactics, they maybe work for hookups and usually with people who have low self-esteem, but in long-term relationships, it makes you look untrustworthy. Begging, over-explaining, every guy does this, but all it does is restrict your autonomy and pushes her further away because it proves you're not listening to what she wants. And deep down, you're just trying to buy time. You want the chance to prove that you can change, but you're trying to solve a problem before she's motivated for a solution. It's like serving a $300 Wagyu sirloin to a vegan. It doesn't matter how good it is. And it's good, right? But as long as the vegan believes that eating tofu will save the planet and meat will give them cancer, they're not biting. My mission is pretty simple. Help men become better communicators and keep couples and families together. If you have kids, I think they deserve a chance to grow up in one home and seeing mum and dad together, not 50% of you. I believe it's never been more challenging to hold a relationship together than it is now. The cost of living's up. Taxes are insane. A man can't support a family on the same income he could 20 years ago. And every distraction you could ask for is in the palm of your hand. And we live at a time where people can identify as cats, have pronouns and shoot people because we've lost the ability to communicate a different point of view. And that's what you're up against, by the way, your partner's point of view about you. Only 20% of couples ever reconcile after separating. And that number's not good enough. It's why I do what I do, because it means 80% of guys never get that second chance. Not because they can't change, but they never learn how. Plus, I'm sick of all the CrossFitters and breathwork masculinity coaches pretending to be Dr. Phil. I manage a team of licensed counselors with psychology degrees, just in case you're wondering what makes us different. Your problem right now is your partner doesn't want to fix it. She believes she's already tried everything to make it work. The enemy isn't your partner, it's her confirmation bias. She'll ignore anything good about you in the relationship because it doesn't support the story she's telling herself. She'll focus on the bad stuff because it justifies her decision to leave. So what do? We create moments that interrupt that bias. We create cognitive dissonance, which is just a fancy way of saying internal tension. It's when her thoughts and actions don't line up. So if you and her have a good moment, a pleasant conversation, a meal with the kids, maybe some breakup sex, in that moment her actions clash with her belief that you're the wrong guy. Now she's got two options. She can either rewrite the last 6 months of thoughts about you, or she can change her actions to match the story she's clinging to. And most women choose the second. That's why she shuts down and you're riding that hot and cold roller coaster. Until you know how to break this cycle, nothing changes. And that's why real relationship recovery comes down to 3 steps. Hope, trust, and belief in that order. And most guys skip all this. They rush into fix-it mode, buying gifts, promising that they have changed, trying to prove something before she's even open to seeing it, which pushes her further away. Now, once you understand the real problem, confirmation bias is locking her into the story. The solution is knowing exactly how to lower resistance, see doubt, and start rebuilding. And that's the framework I'll show you. Every choice we make in life comes down to 3 things. Does it add value? Does it give you peace of mind? Or does it solve a problem? That's it. It's the same with a relationship. You get together with someone because you believe your life will be better with them in it. And your partner's pulling away now because she believes life without you will be better and maybe less stressful, more freedom, or more peace of mind. So if you want a shot at turning this around, she has to believe the opposite again, that giving you another chance doesn't just solve your problems, it solves hers and it makes her life better significantly. And that key to preventing or reversing that separation, it runs through 3 stages: hope, trust, and belief. So if she's 100% convinced that leaving is the right call, reconciliation is dead in the water. What you need to crack enough doubt for her to go, you know what, am I making the right decision to leave? And that's what happens when you lower emotional resistance and you behave in ways that don't match your old story about you. It seeds doubt by creating what we call cognitive dissonance. It's a fancy way of saying internal tension. Now, hope on its own won't last. She needs evidence that you're not slipping back into those same old patterns. So she's not listening to your words or promises, she's scanning your actions. All right, and so we want to be restoring emotional safety here, giving a space, preserving autonomy, and showing new consistent behavior. That's how trust is rebuilt. Now, finally, belief. This is where your partner can start to see that you've genuinely changed. You're not wearing a mask. It's not a short-term performance. It's a real identity shift. And that confirmation bias breaks down and she starts to believe in that shared future. Ultimately, she has to change her perception of you, because you can make all the changes you like. You do every behavioral change program out there. But if your partner doesn't change her perception of you, no dice. You don't pass go. Right now, your partner's decision to leave, it's fueled by her confirmation bias. She'll ignore any of the good stuff and only lock onto the negative because that fits her story that she's making the right call by leaving. And anything you try to tell her right now, it means fuck all. But a conclusion she arrives at on her own will mean everything. Think about the movie Inception. You're planting an idea in someone else's head that makes it feel like it's their own. And that's exactly what this framework does, because people don't change for somebody else's reasons, they only change for their own. This framework is based on motivational interviewing, by the way. It's the same model used by the FBI to influence high-value detainees, and it's backed by decades of research. It outperforms traditional approaches in about 80% of studies, but this isn't manipulation, okay? It's influence done right. It's the ability to communicate in a way that preserves her autonomy, lowers her resistance, and gets her focusing on her own reasons to give the relationship another chance. Most guys hesitate because it's easy to believe that it's too late, that once she's gone, there's no coming back. Raj thought that too. His wife actually moved to Spain, divorce papers already served, but he stayed the course, he worked the framework we teach, and just before Christmas, she called him up, wanted to come home. James was staring it down the barrel of a divorce, but within 2 weeks of following these exact steps we teach, they were spending time together with a commitment to try again. The ring wasn't quite back on her finger yet, but at least she had hope again. Dylan's partner moved in with a sister, so she was surrounded by family and friends, reminding her of everything bad about Dylan. So he was really anxious. He was second guessing every move, but he just focused on lowering emotional resistance, doing what we taught him. 3 months later, she moved back home. Adam had been separated for 10 months. Plus, he was working FIFO, so he barely had time to scratch himself. And his partner had rebounded on with someone else, so the odds were definitely against him. Yet a year later, they're back together and they got engaged last month. And then there's Lan. This guy, he almost didn't start. He just thought this wasn't for him because him and Steph had been apart for almost a year, but he committed. He looked at his own patterns. Now he and Steph are rebuilding slowly but surely. He stayed consistent. He applied the Inception Framework, and within 2 months, she was back home. Here's the point. These guys weren't special cases. They were in situations probably just like yours. In fact, some of them might be worse. They just got off the fence. A lot of guys sit on the fence waiting for some indication that their partner, that she's going to give you another chance. So they don't really commit to anything different in case they're wasting their time. But this means you're hyper vigilant, looking out for signs that you should stop and not bother because it's too late, it's a waste of time. And this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The guys I mentioned before, they just reached a point where they admitted that what they were doing wasn't working. They got out of their own way, they followed the framework, got professional help, and they stopped trying to fix it alone, and they turned it around. So here's the next step. If you want a second chance in your relationship, we have a relationship recovery scorecard. It's called the breakup test. It's free. You'll get your results straight away. It shows you exactly which of the 4 areas, if not all 4, have broken down. Communication, trust, conflict, or intimacy. And even if you never work with us, you'll know what you should be focusing on first. Now, once you get your results, you'll be redirected to a page with some simple options. And don't worry, it's not a sales call. I hate them, everyone hates them, which is why we don't do them. You won't be booked into anyone's calendar. No one's gonna press you. It's just a page showing you how you can get support if you want it. Here's how it works. Community. There's daily group counseling in small squads. There's a full education course with over 70 lessons and a support channel where you can ask my counseling team questions every day. Then there's the inner circle, and that's everything in the community plus one-on-one support with my licensed counselors. It's week to week, so you can cancel any time. Now, we've only got 3 licensed counselors, so space is limited. The inner circle is capped at around 15 to 20 men each month. The community has got more room, but it's not unlimited either. So click the link, take the free scorecard, get your results. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this. If not, well, I guess it's maybe 10 minutes of your life you never get back. But if you did and you want more support, just follow the steps on the next page. It's totally up to you. Who knows, maybe I'll see you inside the community.